Hello, Miss Jennifer. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Before anybody, in case they don't go to the end, because y'all have very short attention spans, almost as short as mine. Anyway, y'all, I'm trying to grow my social media presence so we can make this reality series happen. So I really want you to stop the video right now and click on the Channeling Erik Facebook page, click like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share my blog post on channelingerik.com, share our YouTubes, make sure you subscribe, and what else? Oh, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and that's all. All right, and just in case, I want you guys to check out, get a pen, get a piece of paper, Jennifer Doran at psychicmediumjenniferdoran.com, and I will definitely put that toward the end of the video. All right, we are going to have an exciting topic today. It's about time travel. Hello, Erik. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Doing great. Love you.
And Jennifer, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Today when Erik came in, I was mentioning this to you before we got on. Erik's energy makes me very warm today. I get sweaty, like my eyes sweat. I don't know what that's all about.
No.
It's like right under my eyes. So I'm hoping my makeup holds up. We'll see.
Oh, who cares? You look beautiful without it anyway. You can pull it off. So the reason I started thinking about time travel is because somebody sent me this link of this person that apparently came from the year, I don't know, was it 2078? Trying to prove that, yes, there is time travel. And he brought a picture of a real life dinosaur from way back, 65 billion years ago. I don't know if it's really true or not.
Okay.
But I will put that link up in the description.
What Erik is telling me, and actually he and I have been chatting about this back and forth kind of all day. So he said, you have to understand that we are in a time where anybody can make anything look possible and real.
That is so true.
So he said, number one, flat out, he says, no, it is not real.
I didn't think so. It didn't really real. Look like it.
No, he said it's not, but he said we have to remember anybody can make anything.
Oh, yeah. Photoshop, all sorts of tools.
Yeah.
Trade.
So what he says about time travel is that it is theoretically possible. And he wants to focus on Earth, humans, and the human experience. Okay. He said Earth, by design, was created to be linear. It was created to be a start and a finish. Okay.
Yeah, because I guess for the human experience to really work, we have to have cause and effects, consequences, and things like that. So yeah, I guess that's one of the main reasons, huh?
Yes. Well, and then he also says, like, one of the things he was saying to me was that humans are not designed to travel like that with the body. He said basically you would turn to soup. Is what he kept saying. The human body, the body is the problem. We're not meant to do it. We're by design are not meant to time travel. We are get to come and be here start to finish of this lifetime. Earth is meant to be linear.
Well, what about Beam Me Up, Scotty? Whatever happened to that?
So that's why he said we're going to talk about Earth, humans, and the human experience.
Okay.
But time travel in other areas, other beings, other planets, there is the capability. Their physical form is very, very different than ours, so they are capable. He said, honestly, humans, we love them. We do. We love them. But when you get to Earth, it creates such a block to all the knowledge. And he says, humans make a big enough mess out of things. If they were able to go and play with time and the past and the present, he says, you guys, because you can't have that. You can't have that responsibility.
I can't imagine what would happen to the stock market. It would just explode.
Yeah, but he also says, what he's also saying is that you can't emphatically disprove that time travel is possible, therefore it remains a possibility.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Well, will there be a time in the future where our bodies can time travel, or the technology of time travel will be such that our bodies don't just turn into chickens.
Yeah, what he's saying is that if Earth ever does get to that point, it won't even be like the Earth that we know right now. It would be a very different, it would have to be a global evolution of all humans. And he says we're nowhere near that level of evolvement.
Oh, wow.
For humans,
Yeah.
He says, but when you come back over here, when the soul comes back over here, it's different. And he says, we don't even really think of it as time travel because, you know, time doesn't really exist over here. So they can kind of go to any point, but he says, we don't really think of it as time travel because he said, humans are the ones who are so obsessed with the past, the present, and the future. Instead of just being, we're obsessed with what happened in the past, what's going to happen in the future, what's happening right now.
We are.
Yeah.
We need to be in the now. I know, because
yes,
it is right now.
Everything. Yeah, and that's why time travel is a bit of an obsession for humans.
Yeah. Right. Do you think there will be a time, or are there people who can not take their body with them, but astral travel into time? Okay, so that's possible. So we can project our consciousness 2,000 years into the future on Earth.
Yes, to see what would potentially be in the future, to see what would be in the past. But what he's saying is you would have no effect. You would be absolutely a spectator. You would have no effect on changing or altering anything.
Thank God. Really? Think about that.
Yes. But that's astral traveling, and the big key is you're not with the body. You're not with the physical body.
Yeah, so it's like the guy on Ghost. He couldn't push the penny, but he learned.
Yes. Yeah.
So okay, so when will we be able to with our bodies time travel? It's like the year 3,000, 10,000?
Yeah, what he says about that is that all depends on the progression of the human condition. And he said there's so much free will involved there that there really is no way to really predict when it will happen.
Well, say you choose the quantum probability right now. I know that could change with free will, but
we're hundreds, if not up into the thousands of years away from that.
I bet. Oh, gosh.
Yes.
Okay. So how can we learn to astral project into the future or the past?
Okay. So what he's saying is in order to astral project, because he said some people can do it while they're awake or while they're sleeping.
Oh, lucky.
More people can do it while they're asleep. And he says a lot of times people are astral traveling at night and don't even realize that they're doing it.
Wow.
He said becoming very, very good at meditation, which is like, he's picking on me because it is one of my challenges. I have the attention span of like a gnat, basically.
Me too.
So if I meditate for like a minute, I'm like, yes, I did it. So he said you'd have to become very good at meditating because it's that the waves in the brain during meditation is kind of the area that you need to be in to astral travel, especially if you're awake, because there's an automatic kind of putting your brain in that state for most of us while we sleep.
Okay.
We're just
But do you have to be like in the theta brainwave stage? Is that it? Or I don't know, one of those?
He says yes to that, but he said that's, and I apologize. I do not have the words, but there's something like even beyond that, like a level beyond that you need to get to, especially to do it while you're awake.
Cool. Okay, so can you use binaural beats to put yourself in that? I mean, possibly in that brainwave state.
Yes, absolutely. Whatever helps to put you into a meditative state. He said, even if listening to, whale noises is what puts you in that state.
It works, man.
Yeah, whatever works.
Okay, so how far in the future can you astral project? And I'm going to look up the deepest brainwave. Okay, while you answer that.
He says there's no limit to where you can go and what you can see, but he does say what you'd be seeing is a potential outcome. Because we know, the future is always subject to change. So you may, in the moment, if you jump forward 100 years and see a specific scenario, that is one of the possible scenarios that could happen.
Oh, of course, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is it the delta um, wave? Maybe the delta wave.
You know what?
That's okay. It's
Yeah.
probably, let's see. Theta is in meditation and light sleep, and the slowest delta is deep, dreamless sleep.
Yeah, there's he's saying there's like something kind of in between.
Oh,
In
wow.
between there. And of course, who knows what they
Yeah.
know that we don't. There's something in between. There's something kind of beyond that. But he says you sort of have to get to that to leave the body.
Okay. Wow. That is so cool.
So, okay. Okay. What he's saying is that actually that's when you astral travel when you're sleeping. It's like the transition from the one phase into the other. There's like that sweet spot, he calls it. That if you're going to astral travel, that's when you have to go, because if you make it too deep in the sleep, then you can't go either.
That is cool. Well, something called, they say, a flow state, alpha to theta. In an intense creativity, you are having a mystical theta burst. So I don't know. This is an interesting.
Yeah. So what also is interesting? He said if you think of it like it's on the other side of this, but that phase when you're asleep and you're just about to fall asleep and you feel like you're falling. Okay. So that's between awake and that first stage of sleep that we have that feeling. And he said that when you astral travel is in one of those other little transition spots of levels of sleep, levels of consciousness. He said not levels of sleep, levels of consciousness, because you can get to those brain waves without falling asleep if you're good enough at meditation.
Oh God. Now, can you travel as far back as you want? Astral travel back in time to the past?
Yes.
But that would be the same as what actually happened, though, right?
Yes. He said that would be what happened, because again, Earth is linear. There's no changing it. So when you look back on the past, that's what happened. Okay, now your perception of it, your perception, your individual perception would change, how you feel about the situation that you were looking in on, but it would not change the
right, because you've had other experience, maybe some more wisdom that could change your perspective. Okay, so what about you, Erik? Spirits, they can go to any time they want, right?
Yes.
Wow. So what year would you go to, Erik, if you had your choice? Someone wants to know.
He actually really likes the 1980s, which I'm like, that's not even that far back. Like,
I know. What do you like about it?
He just he likes the style. He likes the music.
Oh yes, I
bet. There's something about there's something about like Germany and Russia in those times that he is interested in.
Interesting.
As well. So yeah. But yeah, he says, but it's like it's not like they're jumping into the actual events of the time. They can just sort of like go and look and be like spectators. It's not like they're actually jumping back to a moment on Earth in that time.
Can any spirit, like maybe an archangel, go back in time and change events at all, or in the future and change events, or is everybody a spectator when it comes to the past?
No, so what he says about that is that it's like there would be no need for an angel to jump back in our timeline and change an event, because he said if something needs to be changed or altered, it can be done right in the moment.
Okay.
And so he says angels can jump in to kind of rearrange events. Many people who have been almost in a car accident that should have killed them but weren't, feel as though they were wrapped as something.
Yes.
And that is that kind of energy where something jumps in to that moment in time and alters what could have happened.
There was a TV series where these agents did things to change time on the spot and stuff. I can't remember the name of it. All right, somebody wants to know, what is a time warp? And will it be possible to cross vast distances because of a time warp? Are you able to bend space? And if you can, how? So the time, space
Yeah,
Yeah.
so so what Erik is actually showing me is like if we look at other planets can travel much quicker through space than we can.
Mm-hmm.
What he's saying is that that is a technology. That's technology that they have.
Who
Um,
has?
like alien races,
Oh,
like
okay.
like our planes aren't going and flying around the skies of other planets where they're like when we see the UFOs here, because they can get here much quicker than we can get to
Where do
wherever
they go through a wormhole or something? What happens?
it's it's more like, I guess, more like a time warp, like a bending of time or an altering of time.
Oh, yeah,
um,
space time. You know, if it
yeah,
looks like a U, then instead of going this way,
yeah,
like that.
yeah, but it also has to do with their actual technology, like what I
Yeah.
guess what we would call their UFOs, it has to do with that as well, because um, it holds up against the
Okay.
travel where
Oh,
our crafts would not.
no. All right. So, when will we have that ability, that technology? How far in the
It,
future?
Erik is saying it's already being worked on there, that kind of stuff is already being worked on,
Cool.
but it's very
Yeah.
theoretical still.
Are the aliens helping us develop that technology?
um So what he has just said is the amount of information that we have on that is very well controlled. So yes, we are getting help from the other side, other races,
Oh,
whatever it is, but it is very well controlled as to how much information we actually have access to.
to protect ourselves, to protect us,
Yes,
right? Oh, yeah.
yes. He's like, he kind of rolls his eyes. He's like, you guys would blow the place up if you.
I swear, it's like handing a toddler
that,
dynamite
that
in a match.
that's exactly. He's like, it's like a bunch of kindergartners. If
I
you.
know. Oh, we're so cute. All right. Is each moment, this person asked, is each moment its own dimension? That's interesting. Since the whole time space um, continuum, whatever it's called.
Yeah, yeah. So yes, you could say that, but it's astronomical because that just goes for every single being, every single person having an experience on. They're all
Wow.
separate individual moments.
Oh
I
gosh,
yes,
that is
yep,
infinitely.
yeah.
Oh,
It's
that's
it is
mind
in
blowing.
yes, yes.
All right. Can we ever jump into parallel realities?
He says no. Um, No, not a physical, tangible, real parallel reality.
Okay.
Now, if part of your soul is having another life on some other planet as you were simultaneously having yours here, he said that's different. But to actually jump into a real physical, no, we're not supposed to be able to do that.
Oh, wow. So can we're living all our lives right now. Can we visit ourselves in other lifetimes?
Oh, absolutely.
And that's by astral travel, I
Absolutely.
guess. Or
Yes, and that can be done through hypnosis, like
oh,
seeing
yeah.
past
Okay.
life, seeing moments. But again, those things have already happened on the earthly linear
Right.
time. So
Right.
you would look back and you would see images, you would see, but you would not be able to change or alter those.
Right.
However, he says through past life regression and seeing your past lives and stuff, you may gain more knowledge of
Oh,
the
yeah.
lessons that you were supposed to maybe be working on and didn't quite. You may be able to gain access to that. So he says, in a sense, looking back can change your future, because it can help you grow. But if we
Oh,
were able
yeah.
to, yeah, if we were able to jump to like a parallel life and kind of be there, he said it takes away from why you're here.
Yeah.
This is an escape, he said. You got to be there. You got to be there. You got to be present.
Unless you could learn from it, just hey, just one little lesson. I'll take an
Yes.
hour and go. What about going into the future and learning from that?
Okay,
I mean, can you
so
see what you did? You really messed up a month from now, and okay, I gotta not
oh,
take that trip.
absolutely. Absolutely. And he, what he says is if you take, and specifically fentanyl, if you take somebody who's addicted to fentanyl
Mm-hmm.
and you say, a month from now, if you don't stop this, you're going to die.
Oh, yeah.
And then in that moment, like, this is what your future looks like. If you continue to do this, this is what your future looks like. Then yes, you can alter the future, because the future is not always set in stone.
Yeah.
It's not always set in stone. It can be altered based on our free will.
Well, we can change our actions now,
Yes.
but not, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But he said, but then the problem is as humans, you would never know what the other path would have brought you.
I know.
It's only a theory of what would have happened.
Yeah. Okay. Is John Titor, Titor, a legit time traveler or an internet host? Maybe that's the link with the dinosaur picture.
Yeah.
I don't know the guy's name.
He says
But,
there are no humans on
okay.
Earth that are legitimate time travelers.
Even those from the distant future, there's none.
Nope.
Okay. What would be the purpose of time travel? Would there be correlations or interconnections with other people we know that would exist in this other time and would still be alive in that time? But more, no, we already did that. Where would be situated our death? Could we see our own death by? Could we see our own death by time traveling? Well, yeah, if you can.
Theoretically, yeah.
Future, yeah. But
Absolutely.
of course, in the future, I mean, things change. So.
Yes. And that really is, he says, the problem with the future is because if you time travel into the future, that would not be a guaranteed outcome of what the future would be.
Yeah.
Because of our free will here. It's just too too unstable to really know.
Right. Somebody said they read an article that Edgar Allan Poe may have been a time traveler. Is that true? I mean, he could be an alien, I guess, right?
Yeah. But no, that life, Edgar Allan Poe, he said Edgar Allan Poe was human that lifetime.
Okay.
But what Erik says is he was incredibly good at astral traveling. Incredibly good.
Oh, wow.
While he was awake.
Okay. Was Jesus visited by two time travelers, as has been claimed? It could be time travelers from other planets, beings who could or physically able to.
Erik is funny because he was visited. Yes, he was visited by two beings that delivered messages. But he says they were not human time travelers. What he's making me feel like actually is that they came from the other side. So more of like angels incarnating quickly.
Okay.
Like this type of a thing.
Okay, so an angel, boom, get into a human body and say things about the future? Or?
Yes, because these messages had to be delivered. But you see, from the other side, they do know a bit about what our future is. It's not all 100% guaranteed. But he said kind of like the big deal stuff we know.
Yeah. Okay. Did the person calling himself Cronbus really come to us from the year 2555? I mean, he could be an alien too, I guess.
Erik says that was an alien. That was alien.
Wow. It sounds like an alien. Cronbus.
Yep.
Okay. Are there rules that alien time travelers must abide by in order to use the technology? For instance, if a time traveler makes contact with you, must he refrain from telling you information about the future in order to avoid making an alternate reality?
So Erik's making me laugh because he said, quite honestly, most humans, if somebody came to them and said something like this, they would just dismiss the person as crazy anyways.
Oh, so probably.
They'd be like, this person is an absolute nut job. So he said they wouldn't do it anyways.
Okay.
We'd just be like, okay, and just kind of go the other way, because he said we're not really ready for that kind of knowledge.
Okay, so
but yes, they do have rules that they need to abide by, and that sort of thing. Absolutely.
Has it ever been violated, the rule?
Mm-mm.
Good.
No.
Well, I had this recurring dream that I go to the past and I tell people I'm from the year 2020 and they're like the 1900s is, oh, let me show you my iPhone. It never really works really well for some reason. It was static and it gets so frustrated. And then it gets stuck on those viral games that I don't know how to get, I don't know why. But I tell them about credit cards. I tell them to buy Apple stock and blah, 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 and this, that, the other thing. And this crash, don't worry, don't sell out. It'll go back up. I'm sure I tell them all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. You know what he's just showed me is he said really and truly, he said if time travel were possible there,
Mm-hmm.
he said only the incredibly powerful and the incredibly wealthy would do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so what he says is what you would end up with is like a dystopian type planet.
Oh, okay.
You know, where like a Hunger Games sort of
Oh,
situation
God.
where, you know, only a very small percentage, and I'm talking like a handful of people would have the power and the money.
Yeah. Oh, that's not fair.
Yes.
Well, is
He
there
said
any
that's
connection?
human.
There's certain celebrities, and I've seen the pictures. It's kind of interesting. Like Jay-Z, Zuckerberg, Nicolas Cage, and John Travolta. Pictures that look exactly very similar to them 100 years ago. Or are they just simply doppelgangers?
Yeah, so what
Past.
he's saying, what Erik is saying is like, yeah, it's just there's been so many humans. He's like, there's not that much versatility in how we look
Oh,
when
that's
we're
true.
there. So he says there's gonna be repeats, but part of there, especially with the famous people, because he said honestly, if we could see everybody throughout history, everybody would have doubles and
Oh,
triples.
yeah, I bet.
All
I
would. He said, but
bet.
the point of it with the famous people is to make people think like, hey, what is happening here? What is going on here? Like this, you know, it's to help thin the veil.
Oh, yeah. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
All right, here's an interesting one. Is it true that extraterrestrials that look like locusts, called the Langars, were seen in space by astronauts in one of the Apollo missions in the 70s, resulting in time travelers coming in to use a refractory mirror simulating stars to prevent locusts from being seen? From them, I guess the Langars from being seen?
So there's bits and pieces of that he says are correct, but it's not like for whatever reason, the mirrors.
Yeah, what is that?
Like that's like something's not right there about the mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
It's not actual mirrors like we think of it, but yes, there were other life forms there, but mirrors. It's not right.
Okay. I wonder if the hypnotherapist Bruce Goldberg's time traveler stories are real. Did he really meet Traxa, a young human male from the future? Goldberg claims that time traveling is done successfully for the first time in the year 3050 by a guy named Taatos, who then traveled back to ancient Egypt. Due to this guy, Tatos' knowledge about the future technology, he is regarded as a god by the ancient Egyptians, according to Goldberg. Is any of that true?
So, again, he's like, theoretically, this is possible. This is a possible. So 3050, I mean, that puts us, you know, over 1,000 years from now. So theoretically, it is a possible outcome. It's not a guaranteed outcome. And whatever was happening during this, the physical body was not going to.
So Goldberg probably astral traveled to meet this guy.
Yes, the physical body did not do it.
Okay, but then that guy probably said, "Hey, yeah, dude, I didn't take my body with me, but in the year 3050, I exist, and then I traveled back to ancient Egypt, and I imparted knowledge." How can you impart knowledge if you're just a soul? I don't know. But so did Tatos do that? Travel back to ancient Egypt?
No, Erik says no.
Okay.
But maybe it hasn't happened yet. If it's something that's meant to happen, it may have not happened yet.
Okay.
It's that whole like our time is linear and this is not linear time. If as humans we are ever to attain the ability to time travel, Earth's time will no longer need to be linear.
Okay. Ooh. Interesting.
Yeah. So, and he says we're just not ready for that. There's not
no.
not enough has been learned yet.
Maybe in the year 3050?
Possibly.
Possibly. Depends on us, man.
Yes.
Kindergarten's got to graduate from grammar school.
Yes.
Let me see. Is there truth to Andrew Basiago's claim that he was part of the DARPA's Project Pegasus in the early 70s, in which he was subjected to time travel as a young boy to help the U.S. government? Is that true?
Okay. Sorry, I there is some truth to that.
Okay.
However, I'm feeling from Erik more that there was psychoactive
drugs, hallucinogens.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Here. And he says the people who were involved with that really fucked up their minds. Fucked up their minds.
So the government probably doped this guy up as a kid so that he could astral project into the future or act as a spy or whatever. Spies.
Kids' brains are so subjective.
Yeah.
It's so subjective.
Yeah.
So you can convince a child of anything.
Yeah.
But they will still believe as an adult.
Oh, man. God. Okay, so what was the government trying to do in that case?
Well, they were trying to learn about the future and what was coming. It was not, the intentions were not nefarious from the get-go.
Oh, okay. Okay. But they were trying to spy on other countries?
Yes. Well, and yes. He's also talking about like around this time too is when remote viewing, there was a lot of working on remote viewing, but also that this had something to do with other planets.
Oh, to go to remote view on other planets. That'd be cool. Bye, Maria. Okay, well, that's great. One other question. Is it true that everybody says that time travel, the technology is going to be revealed that it's possible in 2028?
No.
I didn't think so.
Nope.
All right, well, I think we'll wrap this up. And you guys check out Jennifer at psychicmediumjenniferdoran.com. And we're going to have another quick session. Meanwhile, after you stop this, please share, subscribe, like, whatever you can do to help us. And do the same with Jennifer's page and Facebook page, etc. All right, bye, everybody. I love you, Erik.
Bye. Love you, Mom.
Bye-bye.